Oh, that keeps on giving. Big Sills, and how are you doing on this football Thursday to start another week in the National Football League? Man, how could you not be excited about the sports calendar right now? World Series, 3-2 Toronto. And everybody said, hey, guess what? This bad puppy was going to be a sweep. Well, guess what happened on the way to the dance? Toronto showed up. How you doing? There was a kid that was an A-ball, and he was in Dunedin, Florida. At the beginning of the year, dude goes out, you savage, and just goes absolutely insane last night. 12 Ks. The Dodgers' bats suck, except for Ohtani's. Bro, they got one game away from the Rogers Center blowing up in Toronto in a good way, with another World Series championship in the first time since the early 90s. That's insanity, man. 300. Hey, help me out here. $379 million payroll. And the Dodger bullpen blows. The Phillies have a better bullpen. I'll make this point to you. The way the Dodgers are playing against Toronto, I think the Phillies would have beat the Blue Jays. Do you guys not agree? I think the Phillies would have beat the Blue Jays in this World Series. And that's without Wheeler. God forbid if you had Wheeler, you win that thing of 6. You win that bad puppy in 6, right? Dodger bullpen blows. Not saying that the Philly bullpen is anything to write home about, but shit, man. Weak in the knees, Xander says. No way. Well, I'll tell you what, the Dodgers are limping around, and they're walking around on them Howie Roseman knee pads right now. As we said, appreciate you guys. By the way, the great Lamar Jackson is back on the field tonight. Oh, and for the record, the best running back in pro football in the last 15 years. You ready for this? Derrick Henry is 67 yards away from 12,000 rushing yards. Let me take a look at that. All-time leading rushers. Holy shit. The best back in the last 15 years. Derrick Henry, all-time leading rushers. I ever put that guy Barkley in this guy's conversation. It's demeaning. Here's Derrick Henry. 67 yards. He goes to 12,000 yards, and he could potentially pass Thurman Thomas tonight and be 15th. And then he's going to chase down Franco Harris, Marcus Allen, Edgerrin James, Marshall Faulk, Jim Brown, Tony Dorsett. By the end of the year, he could be the 10th leading rusher in NFL history. Do you talk nearly as much around your wife, Dan? No. When I'm off the air, I shut it down, dog. Hey, belt to ass. Actually, you know what? My wife's one of the best sports talk people going. She used to produce my show for 20 years. That's a fact. My wife used to get, all the guests that we know that we get on the program? My wife used to get those folks on my radio show. She was my executive producer, did all my sound bites. My wife was, when it came to putting audio clips together, nobody's better in radio than my wife. She worked at Premiere with me. Actually, let me say this to you. I got the job at Premiere. I was talking sports talk radio nationally on Fox Sports Radio. They hired my wife as my executive producer. Okay? She used to get Henry Aaron on. Wasn't anybody she couldn't get on. She got Brett Favre on. Crazy. Let's see here. What's this? This guy failed miserably in the NFL. Why would anyone listen to anything he says? Hey, fuckhead, at least I made it there. How you doing? Miserably? You're right. I only had a 3-year NFL career. The average NFL football player plays 3 years. How you doing? Sit down, kid. Sit down, kid, and tell me about your 4th team all-city team there in Altoona. Dude was the 3rd team all-city running back in Altoona. Hey, I would have been great. But hey, I hurt my hymen, and you know what? I was never able to go on and play at Tiscawani U. You know, one of the few scholarships that I got offered was Eagle Creek University and Helen Keller University. But hey, I was 7th team all-city at Altoona High. Polk High, how you doing? Why would anybody? They've just been doing it for 35 years. You know what? Actually, I asked the same fucking question. Why do people watch and listen to Big Sills for almost 40 years? Kind of perplexing. Today, Brian Baldinger, 5:15, Baldy's in. Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer, absolutely plugged in. We will talk to him at 4:30, and my boy, Big Z, will join us, and that will be at 3:30. So make sure you get your takes in. We're going to get to a topic here. I'm getting it. Look at my boy, Kyle. He follows Big Sills over on X, and I suggest you do too. If you want to be entertained each and every single day, there's only 2 places that you can find me. And quite frankly, this is it. This is the main, the Tampa show is fun. I get to talk college football. This is it. This and X. And if you want to hear a radio show, by the way, the radio show in Tampa is already better than anything you have in Philly. And it ain't close. It's not close. Try it. You tell me. Again, I always tell people this. If there's another show that you're watching right now and you go to in Philly, I implore you to go there. You'll be back in 5 minutes. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to entertain you for the next 4 hours like we will. Hit the like button. How you doing? Super Chats go to the top. We're going to get to this topic here in a second. Congratulations. Congratulations to Derrick Henry. That dude was a second-round draft choice out of Alabama. How? You know, Xander, when we get him on at 3:30, I think that Trent Richardson first-round pick, when Trent Richardson got drafted in the first round, I think that hurt Derrick Henry. I do, because Trent Richardson turned out to be a flop. Okay? I think that hurt him. Because then Derrick Henry goes in the second round. That guy was a 2. Good grief. Guy was a 2. And absolutely, what an amazing running back he has been. How you doing? Belt to ass. You predicted 7 wins last year. I did not predict 7 wins. Dudwa boost bag. I did 9 wins. You said Jalen will never throw for 4K, and he hasn't. You, again, my friend, where did Jalen Hurts throw for $4,000? I must have missed that. And his fabulous, what was it, 2,900 yards last year and 18 TDs? Yeah, I must have missed that. Sills, are you expecting a bigger move to come at the edge? I'm on the fence of letting Jalix Hunt and Nolan go. Nolan's inability to stay healthy, though, is what worries me over anything. Exactly correct. Look, Nolan Smith is not a 17-game a season player. And nor is Nakobe Dean. Okay? Yes, the only reason that Chris Russo can't come on is because he does a show during the same time I do. Or Mad Dog would be on. Mad Dog is a dear friend of ours, and I like Chris Russo. I do not like Francesa. Me and him do not see eye to eye. Not sure we ever will. Okay? I remember when I first found Jacob, I knew nothing about it or Sills. I just thought Sills was some guy with an angry problem and hated the Eagles. Turns out to be my favorite show. You know what, dude? I can't tell you how many people in my broadcasting career, Sills, I fucking hated you. I couldn't listen to you, and then all of a sudden, 10 years later, people are still listening, and guy like this turd comes here every day. No, I won't read it. I don't really care what he says. He could type his little childish hands in his little mom's basement hands with his little Tarple syndrome problems that you have when you type too much and you're trying to get my attention. Not everybody gets Big Sills' attention. I'm in rare form today, baby. I'm ready to rock. I loved you in Tampa. Love you now more than that you covered the Eagles. Thank you, bro. Yeah, but I'm back in Tampa again, but that DAE show was insane. It was so good. Dude, we did 10 shares. We did 10 shares in the morning by myself on an AM. How you doing? And nobody beat me. It was one of the greatest, most rated and highest revenue shows of all time. Sills, you're a jackass, but you're reasonable at times. All right. I enjoyed the interview with Ray Dittinger. I think that's one of the cool things about the show is that all these people never say no to me. I've never had a person that we wanted to come on Jacob. I've never had a person say no. Can't do. Oh, wait. Well, no. I've had people. The only reason that certain people can't come on is because the Eagles tell them not to. Imagine that. Nobody says no. The only people that can't, there's people that aren't allowed to. NBC Philly people can't come on. WIP people can't come on. 97.5 people can't come on. Their bosses told them, do not go on Silio's show. We do not want you on that show. He's a competitor. Little old Dan and little old Jacob. Just a competitor. They want to be paid? I've never paid anybody to come on my program. I text Kurt Warner. I don't go through PR people. I get people you guys want to get on. Okay? Get this. I think I've realized that this show is essentially just a dude who hates on the Birds and only engages with fans who hate the Birds too. Interesting scam. Listen, folks. I don't hate your team. I love your team. I don't root for it, but I love your team. You know why? It's great content. It never stops giving. It's a winner. I cover winners, not dickheads like this guy. Only idiots think this way. Are you crazy? I love the Eagles. This guy's a fucking buffoon. Why would I want? Who do you think I want to be? Jimmy Kimmel? I talk shit on things that are loser things so nobody watches or listens. What an asinine way of looking at life. I hate on the Eagles. No, dude. I think like a coach and players always wanting to be better. And unfortunately, you see this jackass here? Okay? And see this right here when people do this? When you know they go to personal attacks, you know you've absolutely slam dunked on them. You take a Nerf ball. I just put the Nerf ball on this guy. And right now, I just dicked him Boom. How you doing, kid? How you doing? Go sit down over there. How you doing? You like the Tucker Carlson of sports. I actually like Tucker. Because he hates is that what you're saying? He hates everybody. I just heard Sills when I was a kid, and my dad was listening to KMBR. Wow! Hey, I was wild then, though, dude, on KMBR. Holy shit. Hey, man. That was, I was on the front page of the San Francisco Chronicle, The Mouth That Roars. I got a big OS picture. I got to show you this, man. It's on the cover. Okay, hang on here. It's on the cover of the San Francisco Chronicle. Then we're going to get into our topics. Enough glazing. You're going to love this, Cilio. Let's see here. Mercury. You're going to love this. Yeah. My wife saw this on the cover of the San Francisco Chronicle. And she saw this thing. Let's see here. Sports talk. Yeah. I don't know if I can find. I don't think I can find it here. Oh my God. It was so wild. There I was. I opened up the newspaper the next day. And I'm on the front cover of the my bosses call me in. They go, I mean, you're saying outrageous shit here. And I'm like, yeah. They told me that show was too far ahead of its time. Gabe, tell them. The show was too progressive. I was just too out there when I was doing that stuff. I was friends with the fabulous sports babe. Nancy was outstanding. She's a Hall of Famer. Hollywood, and I loved Nancy. Nancy was a great sports talk, and Nancy is a dear friend of mine. Love Nancy, the fabulous sports babe. Absolutely true. So there's two questions. Are there more Super Bowl winning quarterbacks or quarterbacks? And let me see this. Sills, two questions. Are there more Super Bowl winning quarterbacks or Hall of Fame quarterbacks? And how can we be fans and also hate on the Eagles, as the Bob Lang bots say? How you doing? Well, there's lesser Super Bowls. The league's been around 105 years. The Super Bowl will be 60 years come February. So I would assume that there's probably more Hall of Fame quarterbacks than there are Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. It's a great comeback on what I said, that there's 3,200 people that have won Super Bowl rings and only 351 members of the Hall of Fame. That's a good comeback. It is. I think that's an exclusive club too, is being a Hall of Fame guy. Okay? I do. All right. So here we go. Hit that like button. I'm in a great mood today. How couldn't you be? Right? How couldn't you be in a great mood? All right. So let me read this. And this ain't me. This is, and I should have gotten some of my, because I saw this late. This is ESPN Cleveland. And I happen to know these guys that are on the air at 8:50. And now it's being floated around that the Philadelphia Eagles have offered up 3 ones for Myles Garrett. I got asked a question by one of those guys in Cleveland if I would do that. And I said, before I make it public, I want to do it on my show. And the guys are talking about it right now. They may be even watching. Let me throw this at you too first. No way. You don't have a football player on your team right now better than him. There's nobody on your team better than him. There's nobody better. Lane Johnson in his prime's not better. As great as you think Jalen Carter will be, he won't be better. As a matter of fact, there hasn't been anybody in your organization's history other than Brian Dawkins and Reggie White who you can make a conversation about who might be better. There's nobody better that you have on your football team currently right now. And that goes for every team in the league, except for the guy in Kansas City. Don't act like you have better players than that guy. You don't. And nor are you going to draft a better player in the next 3 years better than that guy. Cooper DeJean has no chance at being better than that guy. So, before you put into context, no, let's talk it out here. Okay? 3 ones. And if you think you're as good as you are, they're in the 30s, like second-round picks. Don't act like they're the 5th pick in the draft. They're not. You're going to be good for a long time. And how about this? Let's put this in there. You can't win a Super Bowl without AJ. Agreed. But if you give me Garrett on the other side of that conversation, you can win without AJ. I don't get it. 4 TDs versus depleted Giants team that was already down to competition to begin with. I can't be proud of that. AJ still right in my eyes. John, here's the deal. 4 TDs versus depleted Giants team. I didn't take anything away from that, John. Depleted, they were playing practice squad guys in the secondary. You're dead right. I took more away from the Minnesota game. If the Eagles get Garrett, they're winning it all. Yes. If you get Myles Garrett, you'll win every game the rest of the year. Might not be close. Let me ask you something. Do you think Micah Parsons improved the Green Bay Packers? Yes or no? Do you think he's improved the Packers? Micah Parsons to Green Bay. This guy's better. This guy's better. Get this guy. Trade Dean and 2 first-rounders. Who the fuck wants Dean? Bro, trade me somebody that's not going to break down on the way to Cleveland. This just in. N'Kobe's hurt again. Not really. And by the way, I'm almost afraid to say that because I don't want to put the juju on him. Sills, who you taking? Option 1, Jalen Carter, Quinyon, Jahad Campbell. Or option B, Myles Garrett. We've had great picks in the last 3 years. I think you've had great premium picks. I think they've done a really nice job in picks. I'll say that. Look, N'Kobe Dean is a good player. He's just not reliable. He's just not reliable. That has no interest, man. Bro, that's not – look at this. Guys, that's not going to cut it. A Jomo and 2 first-rounders? Are you fucking crazy? Why would you trade a lesser player in 2 ones? You better put AJ's name there. And 2 ones. The fuck are you talking? Dude, bro. If you're going to shop at a Rolex store, you got to trade a Rolex, not a Timex. A Jomo's a Timex in this conversation. He's a Timex. I think 3 ones is rich for any organization. 3 ones and a player, 2 ones and a player. Remember this, in an in-season deal, you want to get a player back. If you want your straight picks, you wait for the April draft. Remember, Andrew Berry's there. There's a relationship between Howie Roseman and Andrew Berry. Can I tell you, I think this has got more to do with the owner than Andrew Berry. I think Andrew Berry would make the deal. I think Jimmy Haslam's the one that's hedging and stopping this. I think Howie would have had this deal done. If this came down that Andrew Berry had total say on who to move, I think Andrew Berry, dude, 3 ones? Why is this important? Guys, why is this important for Cleveland? Why is this important for Cleveland if you could get these draft picks? Anybody know? Why is this important? Why would this be a way for Cleveland to improve their football team? Help me out here. Okay? Get a quarterback, Kyle. All right. You can rebuild the roster. Khalid, somebody, Kyle, do me a favor. How many first-round picks did Cleveland give up or Cleveland get from the Jags so the Jags can move up to number 2 to get Travis Hunter? How many did they get? I think next year, don't they get 2 first-rounders, their own, and the Jags? Then the Jags give up another first-rounder? Right? I think it was a 26 first-rounder and a 27 first-rounder. Is that right? So this coming year, you could have 3 first-round picks. You could have 3 first-round picks next year and then 2 the following year. If you're Cleveland, you want to rebuild your team? How you doing? Where the fuck are you going now? You're going nowhere. Why wouldn't you make that deal? He's 29 years old. By the time you build your football team up, say you don't move even with the Travis Hunter draft picks, he'll be 33 and he'll be past his prime. Why not make the move now? I could have the Jags 1, my 1, and the Eagles 1. So my 1's going to be either 1 or 2, right, in the draft? So let's just say I'll have the first pick in the draft. I'll have the 10th pick in the draft. Let's say the Eagles win the Super Bowl. And the 32nd pick in the draft? Sign me fucking up for a team that would be lucky to win 6 games this year. Oh, I mean, and for a guy like Garrett, Howie Roseman getting and giving 3, you know he'll get that back. You know how he'll get it back? Trading AJ in the offseason for a 1. That's how he'll get it back. And then you're only surrendering 2 for Garrett. Then you draft your young wideout to put on the other side in the offseason next to Devontae Smith. And you're only out 2 ones. AJ's not getting 2 ones. You fucking dumb. Chills, what are you doing with Shedeur? I think they should hold him until next year and not ruin him by throwing him to the Wolves. Dude, who says Cleveland's ever going to develop a quarterback, though, in the first place? I said it, Sills. Be the Browns' defense is first in the league, and they're trash. Everything has to be on the table for the Browns. Absolutely. You're not doing your franchise any justice by keeping Myles Garrett on your team. Dude, look at this guy. Still, they're not trading AJ. Please stop the narrative. No, I won't, because that's what they're talking about now in Cleveland. This ain't my topic, dude. Cleveland people are saying that Howie, and by the way, what's her name? Her name is Cabot, has confirmed this. What's her name? Cabot. She covers the Browns. And there is conversation on it. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Who's the lady that covers the Browns? Her last name is Cabot. She's a really respected Mary Jo Cabot. That's it. She covers the Browns. This is not stupid shit. By the way, A.J. Brown is nowhere, anywhere in the conversation of talent of Myles Garrett. Not even remotely close. A.J. is a spectacular player. That dude's a generational player. Honestly, it's a win for both teams. Why not? Absolutely true. Let me say something to you. You add him to your football team, and you put him next to Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter will look like Aaron Donald. He's not close. Where the fuck are you saying he's close? He's not even remotely in the conversation with Myles Garrett. What a dummy, man. Dude, A.J. Brown is nowhere near the player. A.J.'s not going to the Hall of Fame. This guy today is a Hall of Famer. Can we afford him? I think you're 20. What's your cap room right now? You know, I think one of the ways you can afford him is if you traded AJ to them. Okay? Let's take a look at Myles Garrett here. What a great player. You know, I really had question marks with him coming out of college, because you know what he said, if you remember, when he came out of Texas A&M? Remember what he said? I don't really have a love for the game. It's not the top priority. I got other loves in my life. I was like, shit, you don't love football? Well, let's see how that worked out in his career so far. Here's Myles Garrett. 13.5, 10, 12.5, 16.5, 16.5, 16.5, 15.5, 15.5, 10. He's got 10 right now through 8 games. He's on pace for 20. He's a former Defensive Player of the Year. 1, 2, 3, 4. First team All Pros, not Pro Bowlers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pro Bowls. 4 All Pros. Nobody's near him on your football team. You don't have a player on your team that's close to his ability. Nobody. He'd be the best defensive player you've had since Reggie White. And that includes Brian Dawkins. What up, Sills? Hope all is well with you and your family. Drop 3 ones on the Browns today, or AJ in 2. Yep. If it gets us Myles, absolutely do it. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, you want to send AJ for your first round quarterback next year? That's how I'd pitch it to him. AJ, you're going to be on the Browns, and the top quarterback, we're going to make a number 1 pick. You're going to get all your targets. You're going to be in Cleveland, and we're going to have 3 ones next year. And we're going to build a team in the offense around you. Get this. You're not trading AJ. You're not. Myles Garrett's name's up. You are. I agree with everybody in here. I'm not trading A.J. Brown for draft picks with New England. New England has nothing. I want. Draft picks doesn't help the Eagles now. And I'll say this to you too. You put Myles Garrett next to Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, and Brandon Graham, you're the fucking best edge room in the NFL. You go from being the worst to the best in 24 hours. 24 hours. Like, get this. I'm not trading Max Crosby for A.J. Brown. How's that help me? Max is a fine ball player. He really is. He ain't that guy. Dude, Micah Parsons is a great player. He ain't that guy. You know when you tune on. And by the way, Parsons has been like rejuvenated in Green Bay. He's been rejuvenated. Get this. Why would I be making shit up on what people are now talking about in Cleveland, you dickhead? Where do you think I got the topic from? I got the topic from Cleveland. What a douchebag. I didn't make that up. So I think the Eagles could rework Jalen's contract to free up some cap space. But don't you think the Browns owners trying to avoid looking like Joe Schoen with Barkley? I don't know what that Cleveland owner's thinking at all because he's a horrible owner too. Him and Stephen Ross and Woody Johnson and Jimmy Haslam with the Browns, they're fucking terrible owners. Miles should separate us. Miles could separate us from the rest of the NFC. Could? Will. Would you trade AJ for a can of Kelly Green paint? Actually, I would trade him for your, what is it, 30-footer? That's going. Let me get something here. Are you in a rowboat when you go out fishing? With that kind of take, you must be in a rowboat, NJ Fishing Maniac. You must be in one of those little rowboats. Only a guy in a rowboat that calls himself the Fishing Maniac would ask a question like that. She goes, you need to get your wife and daughter on the show. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Sills ain't capping. It's just hit social media. Thank you, Prince. Head of the game, baby. As always, head of the sticks. That's why, Prince, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. This guy's in a little rowboat, and he's got one of them little fishing nets that you catch guppies with. And he's like, Sills, green paint. I'm like, damn, dog. I expect you to be in a big old 30-footer. Got a crank on the back. No, this guy's in a fucking rowboat with one of them little shrimp nets, and he's picking little guppies up. Come on, dog. Got your own YouTube channel, and you're picking guppies up. We don't fish for guppies. Yeah. Sills, we heard it here first, folks. Woo, baby. That's right. Garrett to the Eagles. See how that's even going here. Maybe what we did, we got it going even more. That guy Cilio. Okay, here we go. Starting to hit. GM Howie Roseman is super hot for Cleveland Browns Myles Garrett, offering 3 ones. Yeah. Here we go. There's a new one. Yahoo Sports reporter Charles Robinson on 102.5 in Cleveland said the Eagles are hot for Myles Garrett. Holy shit. You hear it here and you're like, Cilio's talking shit. Now we're talking reality. Not me. I'm not the one bringing this up. Everyone else did. Actually, not true. I did. I'll make anything trend, bitch. You want to see it? Seals, if we get Garrett, the next battle royale will be legendary. I hadn't laughed that loud out on a show in a long time. That was fucking Philly 500 was in rare form yesterday. And after watching it again, I don't know, maybe Xander's right. I'm going to have to be better prepared for him. I'll tell you what, anytime it comes up with Dak, he hates Dak Prescott, boy. I'll tell you. Seals, if the Eagles get Garrett, get the Clippers. That's right. I forgot about that, Stu. Wait a minute. Don't I get an asterisk? Wait a minute. If you get Myles Garrett, I'm gonna have to get a wait a minute. I'm gonna have to get a mulligan. If you get Myles Garrett, I'm gonna have to get a mulligan. No? I'd give up 3 firsts for Garrett. He's worth so much. Absolutely. Sills, I know AJ fans are in shambles right now. 3 firsts for a guaranteed Super Bowl win? I'm in. Dude, I would do this. You get Myles Garrett. I wouldn't have anything to say. I got to tell you this, too. Let's say you don't get him. Kudos for floating that out there, Howie Roseman. Bro, this motherfucker wants to win, man. Dude. By the way, if that guy gets Myles Garrett, or even in the conversation to get him, so you're telling me he made a pitch for Micah Parsons this year and Myles Garrett? Holy cow. Look at this. Here's the new one. Bleeding Green just came out with it 5 minutes ago. You guys watch the show. I know you do. Howie Roseman and the Eagles are super hot after Garrett. Brandon Lee Gouton. Trade rumors. Howie Roseman and the Eagles are super hot after Myles. That's 6 minutes. What's going on? We mentioned it here, and there it is. What's going on? What is going on here? I knew it. Can I tell you why? I talked to Alonzo Highsmith. He told me this morning Howie Roseman called Andrew Berry. And they first initially offered like a player. He wouldn't tell me who. And a 1. And Cleveland said, come back. True. So now New England is trying to get Myles Garrett, but the Browns don't want to trade him in the AFC. So as we trade for Garrett and AJ is traded to Cleveland, I'll personally drive AJ to Philly International Airport. Just make sure you don't put him on the wrong side, because I don't know how to get around that frickin' airport, man. Xander had me at some sort of like rat race there. I'm talking to him on the phone. I'm driving by you. No, you're not. Know where the hell I was for about 20 minutes. You're on the other side of the tracks? Yeah. You numbnut, you went out the wrong door. I said, oh, how would I know? If we get Garrett, those boys just go to Disney World right now. Walking subway rails like yeah, that's exactly what it was. I'm like, what? Oh, man. For fuck's sake, please, Howie, get him. I'll rip my shirt off like freaking Hulk Hogan. Hit the like button, guys. Dude, I knew this when I heard this. And then I heard Mary Jo Cabot say that there's some truth to it. She's plugged in. Then Alonzo talking to him. You know, I could call Dan Morgan too. All these general managers know, especially as a trading deadline, hey, you hear the Browns are moving, not moving. That wasn't the word. They're entertaining calls. Sills, 3 late firsts for Garrett would be a steal. If Howie is only floating the offer to raise the price, it's still a great deal. I agree. How about this too, Bob? Maybe if you're the Raiders and you hear Howie Roseman is floating 3-1s around, I mean, you don't think that would help the Raiders for Max Crosby? Now, I'm not giving 3-1s up for Crosby, but I might entertain 1 and then 2s and 3s, right? Good work, Sales. Best show on the internet. Thank you. None of the shows had this. We did. I knew opening this up here. Listen, dude, Myles Garrett is a generational player. He's a generational football player. I would offer 3 first rounds and AJ for Myles Garrett and Jerry Jeudy. Fair trade all around. I think 3 firsts are a lot. Maybe that Jerry Jeudy coming back is not that bad a deal. I don't know that that's not a bad thing having him come. And isn't Jeudy one of them Bama guys? Played with Devontae too, right? Played with Jalen. Xander, did Jerry Jeudy play with Jalen Hurts? I would give AJ in 2 1s, not 3. Okay? AJ in 2 1s for Garrett and Jeudy. So wait a minute. You get Jeudy? You add him to the mix? That covers AJ? And he played with Jalen Hurts at Alabama? And he played with Devontae? I don't know. That's starting to make more sense to me here. Talking about it, Jeudy. Hey, have a good time with Sanders, AJ. Do you think AJ wants to go anywhere else if we get Garrett? He has no say where he goes. He doesn't have a no trade in his clause and in his contract. Hey, we said it. It's happening. Let me see what else is going. Oh, wait a minute here. We got a new one. Let's see here. Everyone's now accusing me of starting this. So what? Myles Garrett to the Eagles for 3 1s. To the Eagles. Let's see how it's going here. Woo! Number 1 story right now. The Eagles trading 3 1s to the Browns for Myles Garrett. Mike Limpsky? Let's see here. Who else got going? We got people now in Philly picking it up. Football Forever picking it up. Thomas Mott. What in the world is going on here? You seem a little more perky this year. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Perky? I don't know what you mean, man. You have to help me out on that one. Perky. Just came in, Sills. How you doing? Eagle reporters now picking it up. Of course they are. Of course they are. Did you see her at the Dodger game eating that Dodger dog? I was like this. Yeah. I was like a baby. I saw Sidney Sweeney at that. Hey, I saw Sidney Sweeney at the Dodger game at Dodger Stadium. I was like, my wife goes, "What's wrong with you?" I go, "I don't know. I'm acting like an infant." She is smoking, man. You are scared to death of them getting Garrett. Your constant negative show will make no sense. What are you talking about, douche? Alabala douche? I'd be pulling for you to get Myles Garrett. Are you nuts? Dude, some people in here, I'm not rooting against you. I'm not rooting against you. I am not rooting against the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl. I am not rooting. We should have a little drop line. I am not rooting against you to lose or not win the Super Bowl. I am not rooting for you not to win the Super Bowl. I am not rooting for that. So let me get this right. I do a post and pregame show, which means I get paid extra money. Hey, I hope they get bounced in the first round. What? Yeah, try passing that by my wife. I'm hoping to get paid through the Pro Bowl. You guys don't get me yet. Most of you do. Okay. Sills, what screen are you looking at? I don't see none of this. You don't see none of this? Just type in Garrett to the Eagles. Pretty simple. The offensive downgrade doesn't outweigh. Yes, it does. The defensive upgrade? You won your Super Bowl a year ago by running the ball and not throwing the ball. Samuel, I'm not ripping you. Samuel, a year ago, you ran the ball and were the 30th ranked passing offense. Passing offense. Okay? You were number 2 in rushing. You were number 1 in defense. You shut down Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Downgrade? What do you mean? You're fabulous 25th ranked offense now? I'll give up a first and my right kidney for both. Damn. Take the kidney, give me Myles Garrett. Now that's a true New York chick. That right there is the Queen of Bayonne. Guinea Gulch. How you doing? There she is, the Queen of Guinea Gulch. Hey, Sells, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give up my first and a kidney. That's why New York chicks are awesome. Right there, man. That's why you give up. Hey, that's why New York chicks are awesome. Miles got people tweaking. Well, I'll tell you who don't have people tweaking. Okay? You know who you don't have anybody tweaking? Adoree Jackson or Michael Carter. The second just got on What the F is going on? What the F is going on? It's called Big Sills time. Here we go. Dan Sileo, the drive in Ohio to pick him up and drive to the NovaCare Center myself. Ooh, they're talking in Cleveland right now about Myles Garrett going to the Eagles. What? They asked me right before I went on, what do you make of this? And I go, well, let's check it out. because they know we're plugged in. And as confirmed, yes. That look, guys, that don't mean it's going on. That just means there's how he wants this guy. Boy, you tell me you miss out on Parsons but land Garrett. Hey, screw what I said about his offseason if he lands this guy. All those trash can guys he signed, okay, you land on him, be the greatest acquisition you've ever had in your entire career, and that includes Terrell Owens and A.J. Brown. And what you would do to Jalen Carter, who you doubling? Jalen Carter? That might motivate that guy too. Get this. So your front would be this: Myles Garrett, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, and Jalix Hunt. Your linebackers would be Bond, Dean, and Campbell. I think you're better than Denver. I think you're better than Houston. Bruce, he's just trying to clean up mistakes after fans hyped up all those corny-ass offseason moves. Okay? Here's the difference between him and Jason Licht, who I got on today, the general manager of the Bucs. Do you want to hear something messed up about Jason Licht? He's made one move for a nose tackle in his entire time as general manager heading into the trading deadline. He doesn't use it. If that guy doesn't make a move by the trading deadline and Emeka Egbuka gets hurt, Tez Johnson is their number one wideout. The Bucs aren't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. That would be over $200 million for two players on the D-line. Actually, got to look at it annually. Oh, who said that? What's his name's getting 40? $40 million for Myles Garrett? Okay. For what, 2-3 years? Okay. By that time, and if you picked up, you got 2 years remaining with Carter, and you do one of them Devontae Smith deals with him, he gets off the books in 3 years, and you kind of go from here like this. Sure, I'm in. So we go from reading War and Peace to hitting with helmets. I'll take it. Absolutely. At least that guy's an impact football player. Thank you very much. Man, Sills, that trade ain't happening, but you damn sure could sell a dream. Hold on for a minute. Whoa. Your general manager is trying to sell Cleveland a dream. Here's 3 ones. Build your team up. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. The Eagles are one player away from dominating. The Eagles, if they don't make that move, they're in the room to be a Super Bowl champ. You put that guy on your team, everyone's looking up like this again. Like this. Right now, everybody's looking like this, looking at Rams, Bucks, Packers, Lions. You get Myles Garrett, they're doing this. Shit. That's pretty much what that is. Come on, Andrew Berry, you pancake-eating son of a bee. Someone's going to be laid to look like a dope here, Andrew. My feeling today, it's you. I do like that movie. They just said it on WIP an hour later. Of course they did. Why do you think Xander has this bitch on. Requested a trade, sent farewell letter, talked about winning, wanting to win, then signs an extension. Yeah, right. Okay, sure. That's a stupid take right there, Pump. Come on, Pump. I do love the pitcher, Pump. Pump. Corporate B Pumper. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Pump. I didn't mean to say that to you. Corporate B Pumper. And look at the pitcher of Hurts. Hey, Pump. Thank you, man. Oh, my God. I can't wait. Yes, we started the program off an hour and a half ago about, Myles Garrett. Let's see what's going on over here now. I knew we'd get this thing trending. Power sells. Never ceases to amaze. Myles Garrett to Eagles. How you doing? Oh, shit. It's totally getting picked up everywhere. 3 1s. I don't know. I'm sorry. Listen. I am. Yahoo Sports. Yep. Oh, my God. I told you. Look at this. The New England Patriots are acquiring about 4-time first-team All-Pro. I told you. When did this come out? This came out just seconds ago. They told me New England they asked for him too. I think we're stepping in it here. I think I'm going to get a lot of calls after this show from all my friends in the NFL. Hey, what the hell? You're blowing something up here, man. We're supposed to keep this shit, behind closed scenes here. Sills, I'll bet Rosenhaus is not happy if this deal happens. He'll lose leverage in the Carter negotiations. I don't know about that. 2 different positions. I don't know about that. Okay? Gonzo. And first for AJ, then trade Garrett for 3 1s. I'm not trading AJ Brown for anything unless it's involved in the Garrett deal. What has happened here? Everyone's kind of rolling in here now. Since I misspoke, I would go for 2 1s and AJ for Judy and Garrett. If we get this, then we'll be looking at Dan Baldino. Dan Baldio? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a mulligan on that. If you get fucking Myles Garrett, I'm taking that deal off the table because your team's different. You don't get that. Hey, I'm going to trade for the best player in the league. Yeah, I don't know. Seals, consider what Carter could learn sitting next to Garrett in the locker room and working with him. How about this? Think about what Garrett would do for guys like Mailata, and when you get another offensive lineman in, and what he could do for the offensive line on the other side when you're training and going through training camp and you're practicing and you're doing one-on-one drills. Think about all that knowledge he has on teaching offensive linemen, having a guy like that on the other side. Think about all of that. Whew. Another one. Yep. Everyone's posting it now. All Cleveland Sports Talk is bringing it up because we brought it up. Dude, it's everywhere. All over X. They went after Micah. They want this guy bad. I thought it was phony. Fake news. We're making this thing a reality. When you after fans got brought back to reality. I'm not moving AJ for anyone, sorry to say, I haven't seen enough from this offense that would tell me that we can win without him. Well, you won a game last week without the guy. So that's how Vegas works. You make a bet, circumstances don't matter. You either win or ask. Hey, Josh, really? I'm Italian. Are you suggesting I don't know how a bet works? It's in my DNA. It's in the Guinea blood. I don't. So Cleveland put it out to test the waters and see how the fans would take it. Still a pipe dream. It's not. Hit the like button for Garrett. Tip my hat to Howie. Man, he doesn't lie when he said he doesn't sleep. This guy tries no matter what. That's what I'm really liking about this. Is that this guy here, man, even if he doesn't make it happen, he's pushing the gas pedal down. He really is. Giving up 3 1s. Look at this guy. You want to laugh? Let's laugh together. We aren't making any deals. One more small move before the deadline, and that's probably it. Wow, what an epiphany. What a limb. Wow, really? You probably will make only a small move. But he's trying to make a gigantic one to separate himself from his team, from the other teams in the NFC. Hey, kid, seriously, you have to be 10 years old. Right? Are you a Madden guy? Play Madden, right? Man, this guy's like 4 years old. Pump, you gotta be going there, bro. Fortunately, Sells, I want Miles far more than JC. Miles is a known demon on the field and on the road. Maybe not the guy we want around JC. Well, maybe you could slap the shit out of the guy and make him understand that the guy's a professional right now. For 3 1s? Yeah. Well, wait. Let's take this right here. Ruiz, I'm not picking on you. You really think the Browns would trade Miles? Okay, Ruiz. And Myles Garrett's 29 years old. Do you think in the next 5 years the Cleveland Browns are going to win a world championship? Or do you think the Browns are going to be Super Bowl contenders? Ruiz, or anybody answer the question I'm asking Ruiz. Do you think the Browns will be a Super Bowl contender in the next 5 years? Or the contract, 4 years? Do you think they'll be a Super Bowl contender? Okay. So we're going to answer Ruiz's question. Ruiz even says no. Okay. So you're not going to be in a conversation for a Super Bowl. Next question. Do you have a quarterback? That's no too. Okay. So you're not going to be a Super Bowl contender. You haven't answered the quarterback situation yet. And how do you get to become a Super Bowl contender quick? Draft picks. Draft picks. Draft picks. Right? Draft picks. I would have mine, the Jags, and the Birds coming up in 26. So I'm not going anywhere for the next 5 years. I don't have a quarterback, and I'll have 3 1s next year. Ishmael keeping the channel going, baby. Thank you, Junior. Appreciate you. That is totally dope of you, man. Always respect you. I think people have hate towards you because you speak the truth. I was one of them, but now I see it. I always thought cold-hearted is that Nolan and Dean were traded for Howie. Question. Also, I'd sacrifice my wife for Miles. Oh, my God. I always thought cold-hearted. No, not really, dude. Well, wait a minute. Ishmael, the NFL is cold-hearted, man. That's how they do business. NFL, man, they don't care who you are. They'll get rid of your shit in 5 seconds. It's all about team. Isn't it funny? General managers think team. Fans think individuals. Howie Roseman's not thinking about an individual. He's not even asking the D coordinator what he thinks. He already knows Myles. What do you think Vic Fangio could do with Myles Garrett? Just dope, man. Ishmael, thank you, dude. Can't thank you enough. That's right. NFL is cutthroat, dude. It is cutthroat. This trade would give Cleveland 7 first-round. Hey, Bob, remember Ruiz asked the question? So let's put it out there for Cleveland. So Cleveland would, okay, they're not going anywhere. They don't have a quarterback. And they would have 7 first-round picks over the next 3 years. He asked the question, why would Cleveland do it? If you were Cleveland, and all the things I just said to you, and you would get cheaper because you would have players on rookie contracts, and you would get Garrett's $40 million off the book. How is that not a no-brainer? You get Garrett's money off the book. You get 7 first-round picks in 3 years. You get a quarterback, and Myles Garrett's money's gone. That's why you make the deal. Keeping Myles Garrett, so wait a minute, you're going to keep Myles Garrett for what? You're going nowhere. You're going nowhere. By the way, both teams win this trade. Both teams win. Here's 3 ones, or 2 ones in AJ. You get AJ's salary off the books too if you do that. You're just swapping money. 32 for 40. All right. 32 for 40. Sounds good to me. Financially, though, would that be something again, remember, the business of the NFL also has to be into the conversation, Xander. Okay, you keep AJ. That means there's 3 $40 million deal guys coming up potentially. AJ, Myles, and then Jalen Carter. Awful rich. Awful rich. That's big money for Laurie. Okay? I don't know how he's going to surrender 3 of them. Remember, you also have to put you also have to put into the conversation the business of the NFL. Xander's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Howard Balzer will join us at 4:30. We'll go around the NFL. We'll ask him about this. We'll ask him the impact that Myles Garrett would make in Philadelphia. And then we'll ask Baldinger. At 5:15, Balding's coming on. That'll be at 5:15. So I don't think people understand how hard it is to go to the Super Bowl. If you're in a position, you go all in. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to make a point to you about the Super Bowl. Okay? Watch this. Super Bowl list. My God almighty. If the Eagles did this, I love to factor in the conversation. I'm sorry. I just love the conversation. Here, let me go here. I'm going to show you something, guys. Okay, Super Bowl. Super Bowl champions. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to show you how hard this is. Check this out, guys. Let's go the last 20 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. In the last 20 years, Roethlisberger, Peyton, Eli, Flacco, outlier, Wilson, outlier, Brady, Peyton, Brady, Flacco, Brady, Mahomes, Brady, Stafford, and Hurts. In the last 20 years, if your name's not Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, okay? There's 4 dudes with Hurts in the last 20 years that have won Super Bowls. If your name's not Eli, Roethlisberger, Peyton, or Tom Brady. These games aren't that easy to win. When you're this close, you push everything in. I mean, everyone's under the impression, well, you know, everyone could go to, yeah, that's not the case. And Mahomes, right. Thank you, Benny. Still set the tone today. I could smell WIP pants from here. I think they shat themselves again. Jacob, best out there. Yeah, because you know what? It's a bye week. They don't know what they're talking about over there. And this is what we do. We create content, my friends, and so do you because you're the best. Seals of how he's trying to get Garrett, then the money is figured out. He's good. That's right. That's a great take. You're dead on. If he's trying to get him, you're right, Eric. You're dead on. If he's thinking about getting Garrett, he's already figured the money out. Yes. Yes. Great take. That's a great take. He's not calling on somebody if he hasn't figured the cash out. Shit, the move that you made with Michael Carter II, he already figured the money out on the guarantees that the Jets picked that shit up. They're not on the hook for any money. So check the profile picture. I'm trying to force it into existence. Nice job, Curtis. Yeah, no. Yale, I think as long as it makes sense financially, I think Laurie gives that guy all the latitude in the world, and that's what makes it. Dude, what makes Howie Roseman the best GM when it comes to shit like this is that the owner goes like this. All right, hang on. Here's the checkbook. Don't spend too much. You have an allowance, son. Remember, there's an allowance. Don't go over the allowance. And if you can balance remember, you don't get any money until next week. Yeah, Dad. I'll take the money and do what I can. I'll buy a lot of lollipops over here and I'll buy some gummy bears over here. I'm ready to go, Dad. Have a good time. Seals, can Garrett cover the flat? Yeah. You know what? Let him get to the quarterback. I'll tell you this. Every time I hear Lane Johnson talking about Myles Garrett, I hear Lane Johnson say, yeah, that's different. You know, I mean, every time Lane is going to Canton, and he goes, "Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's different." Here, let me type that in here. Let me see what's going on here. Story's blowing up. It's everywhere. Oh yeah, people are now telling me that WIP is now on it. Of course they are. Why wouldn't you be? It's a story in Cleveland. I feel like this means Howie's done. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If Howie wants to take the rest of the year off, you get Myles Garrett. I'll see you at the parade. I'll see you at the freaking parade. What's this smell? Let me see. Is that Ish? Is that you? Ish, is that a picture of you, bro? Tell me if that's you, dude. Now, I think you misunderstood. So I'm saying that Nolan and Dean was Howie's trade capital. He never, any player to how we see. He sees trade capital. Okay. I pick Super Bowl rings over pick. We do it. We do have a draft. Okay. No, I think you want misunderstood. So I'm saying that Nolan and Dean was Howie's trade capital. I have never, ever any player to how he sees. He sees trade capital. I pick Super Bowl rings over picks. We do have a draft. Okay. Ishmael. I look at draft capital as stocks. Okay? I look at them as stocks. And when you look at it, you go like this. Will that stock go up? Will that stock go down? I don't know. To my guy, Big Sills, how are you, my friend? Since there's no clear dominant team, that doesn't help the Eagles to put things together for the stretch run. You're telling me you don't think that Myles Garrett helps you in a stretch run? You don't think that? You don't think that? Okay? Sills, I'll make this simple. Howie is an accountant first. Every player is an asset, and Howie knows his liabilities. I agree. Howie would lock down this trip to the Hall of Fame if he gets Garrett. He really would, man. I think he's a Hall of Fame general manager now, Philly. I really do. Just get the job done. Here's Curtis. Curtis, we aren't getting Garrett, but if we think he doesn't help us get checked in for a brain tumor, what is wrong with you people? How about this too, Curtis? Put this out there. I said this earlier. Remember something here. If you're the Raiders and you're watching this, 3-1s, what would Philly be willing to give up for Myles Garrett? I mean, for Max Crosby. 2-1s? The Raiders are going nowhere. They have no quarterback. The coach is 70 years old. Yeah, well, I'm not giving them the same price tag as I would for Garrett, for Max Crosby. That's my take. I'm not giving you the same money. I'm saying if you're seeing what Philly is willing to do, what would you be willing to do for Crosby? 1 and couple threes? Player? You get Crosby? Okay. Max Crosby's 28. Learn to read, Sills. That's not what I said. All right. Put it back up. Let's read it back up again. To my guy, Big Sills. How are you, my friend? Since there's no clear dominant team, doesn't that help the Eagles to put things together for the stretch run? Yes. And that's what they're doing now. Okay? Right. Right. I mean, listen, you get Myles Garrett. Let me see how much I've made this thing move. Oh. Now I'm being called some poor choice words here. Let's see here. What has happened? Jacob once again out in front like a biatch. Oh, by the way, we got a Hall of Fame voter who's also plugged in. That is Howard Balzer. And then we got Baldy at 5:15. Hey, you doing? Hey, do you think I could come up with somebody tomorrow to trade for it? Let's get AJ's ass out of here. Oh, yeah. Hey, I got an idea. Let's put John McMullen. And forget it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hang on here. Without further ado, one of the biggest A.J. Brown fans on the planet. He is a man. But first and foremost, got to say, Xander Krause is all about this. He's all about the Philadelphia Eagles, my friends. It ain't so much about A.J. Brown. It's more about the Eagles. What will Big Z say? What take will he have? Shall we find out? Look at this. I haven't even picked up my topic pages, and I've been going already for an hour and a half. I haven't fucking brought up one topic yet. Without further ado,